Good morning, guys. Today is March 19th, Saturday. I'm currently at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square working the Emmy Awards, the New York Emmy Awards. And we're at the hotel now, so they have the ballrooms over there. It's all pre-show set up right now, getting all the room, getting the space, the stage, the lights all set up. Show starts at about 5. It's about 10:30 now, so it's going to be a little bit of time before we actually start the show. It's a lot of hurry up and wait, but we're doing that right now. Things are kicking off. I'll speak to you guys soon. One of the awesome pieces of this hotel is that the elevators are glass, so they're see-through. So there's one large tube here. Let me just show you guys. They're one large tube, so you can basically go from the bottom to the 40th floor, and it speeds up there. You can see it's a whole big ring. There's just basically the central column in the middle of the hotel, and then there's the rooms on the outsides of that column, so it's a really great view. I got a couple shots before, so you'll see that. Yeah, it's pretty awesome when you work these shows. Now, as I mentioned before, this is the New York City Emmy Awards, so this is not throughout the country. This is basically New York sportscasters, New York broadcasters, New York television comes together, and they have an award show. Open bar, of course. Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome. It's very early right now, so there's not a lot going on. We're just setting up the stage in a bit, and then the lighting is going to go on, and there's banners outside, but there's not much that goes on until around 1, 2. That's when a lot of the crew starts to get here for the show at 5. Shows usually run about 4 hours. Show itself isn't that great because you're sort of sitting there and then watching a bunch of people get awards, but the pre-show is pretty awesome. This whole area behind me is going to be a cocktail area, so there's going to be a bunch of open bars, a ton of people here in a few hours. Right now it's extremely empty, of course, but I think I'm actually going to get to work soon, and I'm going to stop dilly-dallying around. But yeah, speak to you guys in a bit. Okay, so it's noon now. We just put up the red carpet and the banners. Things are starting to pick up now. A lot of the crew is here. They're tuning the piano for the band. They're putting all the gift bags on the tables. I'm going to get some coffee right now though, because I'm absolutely exhausted. And let's see if I can take you guys on one of the elevators. So you hit a number here, and then it tells you which elevator to go in. And they're all circles. The hell's H? Oh, H is over here. And our elevator is H. It was H, right? I think it should be. Usually they're pretty quick. I guess it's busy today. It's a Saturday, so it probably is. They're getting some coffee now. So for dinner, we get Juniors, which is, they're famous for that cheesecake. They have awesome pastrami and corned beef. Get a little rye, get a little corned beef, a little mustard on there, call it a day. So the show itself is about 4 hours. Did I miss my elevator? I don't know what's going on. So the show itself is about 4 hours. Get out around 11 o'clock. It takes about an hour to strike everything down. Oh crap, it's full, forget it. It's full, let's get another one. Some guy had a big cart with all the luggage, we wouldn't be able to fit in there anyway. So let's do 1 and L, okay. So L, hopefully this is the right one. That was very awkward, so that elevator was absolutely packed full, and I walked in, and there was just a wall of people, a sea of people. Oh, this is a boring one. This elevator doesn't open up into the outside. It's sort of internal with the column, so this is not going to be any sort of view at all to make a normal elevator. Bummer. cappuccino in hand. So this is the first year that they're live streaming the Emmys, and apparently the Ethernet cable wasn't ordered ahead of time, and you need an Ethernet cable when you're live streaming because the signal over wireless just is not nearly good enough or powerful enough to do that. So everyone's now scrambling, trying to find an Ethernet cable. It's a large hotel, you'd figure they'd have one, but at this point most people use wireless, so we'll have to see what happens. They ordered these guys out separately and they don't give them an Ethernet cable. It's a whole big mess. So hopefully we'll have an Ethernet cable to live stream the event. Okay, so it is 7:05. The show just began. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to vlog much from like I think 1 p.m. till now. 5 o'clock was cocktail hour, and then it was just pretty crazy from there. The shows began. I changed, of course. I'm wearing a more spring-like outfit. I'm not wearing a black tie event. It's a pink tie. It's not really pink. It's more, I don't know, salmon maybe? Salmon? It's more salmon. Open bar, of course, but feeling good. So show's going on now. Show just began. Show is gonna be about, I said show a lot. Show's gonna be about 4 hours long. Hopefully we can cut time down a little bit with the aisle in the middle where the recipients can go in. I'm gonna explain it actually. So what we did this year was have an aisle in the middle of the stage, in the middle of the ballroom for the recipients to go get their awards instead of having to walk around tables like a maze. So hopefully this year it's a little bit quicker than it was the past few years. But we're looking at a 4-hour show, then the after party. But now it's a lot of just sitting around waiting. Sitting around and waiting until the show ends. So I'll check in with you guys soon. And I'm back. Okay, so I'm still same area I was before. The cocktail party, that's wow, okay. Focus. The after party is going to be on the 8th floor, which is 1 floor above where we are. Let me turn you guys around. So up there, finger there, up there is going to be where the cocktail party, you know what? This is getting too difficult. Up there is where the after party is going to be. And that is after the show ends, so probably around midnight. But listen, at this point, we're feeling good. The show is going well. The stage looks awesome. The lighting looks awesome. Everything's going very well. Yeah. It's pretty good lighting, actually. I'm going to cut that part out. I'm still not used to the whole it's 7 o'clock and it's light out thing, which is so awesome. But it's 7 o'clock and it's still light out, which is awesome. And the view from where I am, I mean, you can just see that. These bad news bears. Well, it's awesome to look at, but you sort of have this very basic glass barrier that goes down to the first floor, or the second floor rather, which is like, I don't know, 100 feet maybe. But now it's a lot of just waiting for the show to end. That's what you have to do at this point. Let me take you guys into a little bit of what's going on right now. This is a weird angle.
I was a little late. New York is one of the safest big cities in America. We hear that over and over again. But yes, crime is a fact of life here, and it is an issue. It is never easy to win an Emmy. It's getting harder and harder every year, and these categories are always among the most competitive. In the category Crime, the nominees tonight are Actor Seeks Redemption, Drama in the Big House, The Scarecrow, Fox Docks the Dark Web, I Can't Breathe, Eric Garner 1 year later, Outside the Wall, Going Inside, Prison Break.
So that's what we're dealing with right now. About 4 hours of that. I don't know. know, there's an absurd amount of Emmys I have to give out, so it takes a little bit of time. But yeah, I am clearly had a little bit to drink. But what can you do? Johnny Walker Black. That's a lie. I had Jim Beam Black, actually, not Johnny Walker. But Jim Beam, great whiskey, on the rocks. All right, so it's 8 o'clock, 8:05. Show's still going on, of course, but we're pushing through. The middle aisle is really making things. What was that? The middle aisle is. All right, the middle aisle is really making things go by a lot quicker than it was last year. So hopefully we can cut the show down 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Hopefully be out of here by maybe 11. After party, I think, starts at 12. But it would be neat to show you guys up the elevators. I'll see if I can go and do that. It is 9:24, just going outside to get a little bit of air. I'm not in the cool elevator once again. Currently outside the hotel. Times Square is just behind me. Came to get some air. I've been inside almost all day, so I'm pretty stuffed up. But it's cold out here, but it feels really nice. It's really hot in there now. Right behind me is Times Square and all the madness that is Times Square. Times Square is one of those places where if you're a tourist, you absolutely love it because it's very hectic and busy. If you're a New Yorker, you can't stand it. And let me try and get a better. That's all the fun of Times Square. It's chaotic, it's busy. There's a bunch of cartoon characters that want to take pictures with you for $1. Any native New Yorker can't stand coming here, but you gotta do what you gotta do. The one reason why you come to Times Square is for Broadway, of course. So if you're seeing a show, you sort of are forced to come here. But over here, this is a theater called the Booth Theater for a show called Huey, starring Forrest Whitaker, who's a fantastic actor. And then right down there is American Psycho. And then Color Purple. And I can't read the other one. Oh, and there's Les Miserables. So there's a bunch of theaters around this area, 46th Street and all around Times Square, Broadway, obviously. But the girlfriend and I, Alyssa, call her Alyssa. Alyssa and I saw Matilda right down here over the summer. Great show. I'm not sure if it's still playing, actually. It might be. Let's see. Yes, Matilda. Big sign there. So Matilda's still playing. So if you get around to New York, I definitely recommend seeing it. Tickets weren't that expensive. So if you're in the neighborhood, go check it out. Also something for Star Wars down there. Star Wars Power of Costume. I don't think that's a show, but looks neat nonetheless. So the show is actually going by a bit more quickly now. We're more than halfway done. I keep doing this, and it's 9:30, so hopefully the show will be done by 10:30, which will be much earlier than most years. Most of the time it's done by 11. So it's nice if we can cut that a little bit short. But we'll see what happens. Whoa. I got my arm extended. People are walking. Right across the street here is Junior's. That's where the crew and I get lunch. They have terrific cheesecake, terrific corned beef, pastrami. It's a delicatessen. But this is actually where a few years back the car bomb, on a more somber note, the car bomb was left. That didn't go off, but it was right on this. Basically right where that black car is where the guy left his vehicle. Bomb, of course, didn't go off, but still a scary reminder. It's a very high traffic area and a fantastic restaurant. If you're in Times Square, go to Junior's, see a show, go during Christmas and then go to the Rockefeller Tree and then call it a night. That's a great night in New York City. Okay, so we're at the after party and there's like an awesome view of Times Square. I'm walking up these stairs at the event and there's this like fantastic view of Times Square. I'm gonna stop filming and turn you guys around because it looks absolutely incredible. And let me get, so it's like this big glass pane window here. All right, so I'm going to stop filming and film this.